good to go.
Hello, NSU Spartan fans. Joe Cook here, joined by head coach of the women's basketball team, Debra Clark. Right now, the women's basketball team sitting at 7-8, 2-2 in the MEAC. Last game, big loss to Howard, 23-point loss. I don't know. Looking at the game, looking at some numbers, it seems like Howard seems to be our kryptonite as far as shooting. Because last year in the first meeting, we shot like 21%, and then in this meeting, we shot 30%. It's something that you can kind of put your finger on.
Well, they play a matchup zone that they're very, very good at, and she's at the point now where a lot of veteran players are playing, so they have the system down. They do a good job of what they do. But even with that, I felt we started the game off pretty decent defensively, but they missed shots and we came down and turned the ball over. I think we had 8 turnovers at the second media timeout, 14 for the half. So it's hard when you're playing good defense and you're not converting. I felt that we had converted on some of those stops that we had, it would have been a different ball game. But instead, we turned the ball over. Then Doyle got hot, she started scoring, and we put ourselves in a bad way.
Yeah, and also look at the game, like if you're a 23-point loss, you're like, oh man, it was a blowout. But if you kind of put it in perspective here, I mean, who would have thought Zakiya Brown, even though she's a scorer, she had 18 points, hit 4 threes. Holmes, she's going to have her moments. And Doyle, you try to limit her as best you can, but it's almost like there's a chance to like limit the role players around them. And of course, it's some shots.
Right, and it was tough. We knew Zakiya Brown coming into the game. She's instant offense. She didn't play last year, but the year before, she averaged 18 points for them. So she's a scorer. We knew that coming in. We just had some problems in our zone. We weren't moving well enough to get out on shooters. They had open looks. Then we went to man-to-man, and we didn't have the foot speed to guard them as well. So really, it was like a double-edged sword against us, because of the matchup problems and our lack of productivity on defense.
So now, as you go on the road, playing next game against Morgan State, what are the lessons that your team has learned from this Howard game that you want to bring with you?
Well, we know we're going to have to get out on shooters and move a lot more aggressively defensively, because Morgan has some great perimeter shooters. They've got one big center inside, but their strength is coming from the perimeter, so we're going to have to get out and guard and contest all shots whether man or zone. So defense is going to be the key for us.
Yeah, really well. Morgan State right now on a 10-game losing streak, but they recently got a win over Columbia today.
Right.
Right now, so they had a 10-game losing streak. Very guard-heavy team. It's going to be important to dictate the pace in this game as far as offensively and really get into the post play since they're relatively small.
They're small. They have one big center inside. She's a young freshman, but she's a nice-sized young lady. Plays good post defense and is an aggressive shot blocker. But I think the key for us to be successful against them is offensive execution. Again, they're a fairly new team. He has 11 new players who are very, very talented, but unlike Howard, they don't have chemistry and they're still trying to find out what each other's going to do. So I think in that area, we have a little bit more experience. Not that old, but we're older than them. So I think execution and experience has got to prevail for us.
Yeah, definitely will. And then on the defensive side of the ball, as you mentioned, Coach, the perimeter defense will be huge. Keisha Mathis, she's leading the MEAC and made threes, a little over 3 per game. She's averaging 13.8 points, and guarding the threes is going to be paramount. As a team, they make just under 7 threes per game. So it's like you got a little previews of Zakiya Brown, hit some threes, now you're going to face a team where everyone's going to be launching from beyond.
Exactly, and then again, it's going to go back to us working hard to get out on shooters. I thought at the Howard game, we were late. We were getting there after the fact. We're supposed to be moving on the flight of the ball and be there when it arrives. We were late a lot of times against Howard, so we worked on improving that.
And then as you look on again, Coppin State as well, in the Baltimore area, you're taking on them. Another opportunity to get a big win over one of the better teams in the MEAC right now, currently right now in 4th place. They're hot too. They're on a 5-game winning streak, including 3 straight on the road. So the team comes home off of a winning streak like that, and you go in hot. What are some of the things you're going to try to do to contain a team that's hot?
Well, they are another well-balanced, experienced team, and they have the young lady, Janine Manley, back in their big inside presence, and she's playing really, really well right now. And then they've got a good supporting cast on the perimeter. So again, it's going to be a situation where we're going to have to be very, very aggressive, limit our mistakes, and finally defend inside and out.
And Coppin also the second in field goal percentage defense. They contest a lot of shots. So offensively, what are the ways you can try to have the ladies get good looks?
Well, we're going to have to try to push the ball because he likes to play slow, half-court, deliberate offense. So to slow the game down because that's his strength. But I think our strength is to score in transition. They're much bigger than us, so we're going to try to score before they can get their defense out.
And one thing that ignites that transition is that defense. And going against Janine Manley, 12.6 points per game, leading the Eagles in scoring. They get some production from around the floor as well. So the defensive scheme or the transition points for NSU. What's it going to be in this game?
Well, it's going to be a point of us executing offensively. I think after transition, that's going to be our first way of attacking. Score before they settle up, but then if not, we're going to have to settle down and execute the half-court set.
See, the Spartans can really execute this weekend going against Morgan State, and then they'll stay over the weekend and take on Coppin State on Monday. So if you're looking for more information and highlights of NSU's women's basketball, you can find it right here at NSUSpartans.com.